The United States education system has absolutely whitewashed slavery. It is far worse than anything you could ever imagine, than anything you were ever taught. They put human beings in the zoos for entertainment. In 1906, a man named Ota Benga was placed inside the monkey house at the Bronx Zoo as a part of what was essentially presented as a missing link exhibit. They had signs on the exhibit suggesting that he was a part of evolution and that he was closer to monkeys than to people. And they would pay 25 cents to watch him fight with orangutans for rotten fruit. And he didn't just come from nowhere. He was a survivor of the Congo under King Leopold II, which, if you know nothing about that, entire villages were being wiped out. Ota Benga's parents were killed. And a businessman named Samuel Phillips Verner promised him safety and instead brought him to the United States and handed him over to the zoo director, who was looking for an eye-catching exhibit in his primate house. And the media didn't step in either. Propaganda was so strong in the United States at the time that even the New York Times reported on Ota Benga in a way that basically suggested he was lucky to be housed and to be fed. And Ota Benga began to fight back, right? He starts distancing himself from crowds that were staring at him. He starts targeting visitors with a bow and arrow. Outrage starts growing, right? Especially from black communities and black pastors, specifically in Harlem. And this public pressure is what finally forced their hand, and he was released. And he gets sent to work at a tobacco factory in Virginia. He changes his name to Otto Bingo, trying to fit in with American life. But his only dream was to return home. He wanted to go back to the Congo. But because of World War I, that was impossible. So he gets depressed, and he never fully recovers. And in 1916, he shoots himself with a revolver and kills himself. And the Bronx Zoo didn't issue an official apology until 2020. And he wasn't the only one placed in zoos for entertainment in the United States. In the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair, over 1,000 Filipinos were placed on display in fake villages. The United States was trying to showcase its new empire that we bought from Spain, the Philippines, as a form of propaganda. So they buy a 47-acre Philippine reservation, and the goal was to make the Filipinos out to be uncivilized and justify why the United States needed to rule the Philippines. So they forced them to perform and to act primitive, and even made the Igorot people repeatedly kill and eat dogs in front of crowds because it shocked the white Americans. And it made people think that what the United States was doing for the Philippines was a great thing. And they were forced to live through the Missouri winter weather in traditional Filipino clothing. And dozens of them died from pneumonia and disease. And if you think this is ancient history, it's not. The human zoos didn't end until 1958. The civil rights movement was right around the corner, to put it into perspective. So when we talk about racism like it's just old laws or something that happened a long time ago, we're leaving out the part where people were displayed, humiliated, and killed so that people could be entertained. And if you think this still doesn't seep into entertainment today, ask yourself this. Why do clowns have overdrawn lips, big noses, and afros? Where do you think that look came from? It traces back to minstrel shows where white performers mocked black people for entertainment, because this country didn't build systems just on exploitation. It built it on entertainment too. Holy shit.